Definitely.
Okay, and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. I am Sean Williams, aka Mr. President, and this is a safe room, a safe space for business owners, entrepreneurs here in Toronto to share their personal and professional stories. And today we have a very special guest here on the show. This conversation was supposed to happen 2 weeks ago, but life happened. Things happen, and it happens for a reason. But I'm glad that we are able to have the time now to have this conversation with this wonderful gentleman. He is a public speaker, a thought leader, digital creator, accessibility consultant. The amount of titles, it's crazy. It's like he's a jack of all trades, basically.
Mhm.
And he's here to share his personal experience. And trust me, like, when you hear his backstory, I hope it becomes motivational for everyone listening here today. He is the founder of Brightside Scope, wherein they are empowering others to share their full multidimensional selves. I love that. That'll I have to say it one more time. Sharing their full multidimensional selves. Oh my goodness. The wordplay, it's hidden different. But today I have the one and only Mr. Bernard Aquaco. Bernard, Ben, if I may say Ben. How's it going, man?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I love the hyped up introduction. You're making me feel good. You make me feel comfortable. I love it.
Of course, man. I listen, like we have to show our guests love. It. I gotta treat it as if like you're winning the Grammy, like it's album of the year. I know the Grammys are coming up soon, so we gotta treat it like that, you know?
I love it. I love it. My hype man right here, man.
Yeah, honestly, like listen, I might have to start charging people. Like, listen, you need like a proper intro, like $100 per appearance, you know?
Yeah, no. I feel that, and it's good, man. You're hyping me up. You're making the masses make me feel important. So I'm so happy to be here today, and so happy to have a nice conversation on your podcast today.
Yes, 100%. And to everyone that I mentioned as well, you're very special because I think you're the first of anyone to come on the show. If you're willing to share, like, I don't want to share it, but
Yeah.
if you want to share specifically, like
Yeah.
what makes you special, just for the people there.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody noticed with I guess my eye going over there, but I'm actually a person who is there's some terminologies to it, legally blind, low vision, partially sighted. You have the whole kind of names and rigmarole about it, but essentially, I have a eye condition called retinitis pigmentosa, and I was actually born with the eye condition, and I progressively lost my vision as I got older, and with that is I can't drive. I use a cane as well. But I just want to say, even sharing that story, a lot of people are like, damn, you know what I mean? You're going through that. But at the same time, as you're going to learn throughout this appearance, I love life, bro. I love life. I love exceeding expectations. I love proving people wrong, and I love showing people that just because you live with blindness or low vision or some sort of disability or some sort of challenge, it doesn't mean that you can't live a full, prosperous, amazing, blessed life. You know what I mean? Which you bring your whole entire self into. You know what I'm saying?
100%. And I mean, again, you're the first one on the show to, like, based on your condition, to come on. And I just want to say I'm completely honored to have you on. I just want to give a quick shout out to Kalina because she made the connection. I hope she's watching. I hope you're listening. I know she wanted to reach out. She's like, hey, Sean, like, I don't know if you're looking for someone, but I got this guy named Ben. Like, you're definitely gonna want him on the show. And like from the first interaction we had, I thought like, oh yeah, this we about to lock in. It's about to be a good one. It's about to be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited to talk about, your backstory, talk a bit about Brightside Scope, how that got started. Again, we're here. This is a safe room, it's a safe space for everyone. So I know it's going to be a really great conversation. But before we get into all the main questions, we have to start it off with our opening segment, the hot seats. I feel like even the chair you're sitting in right now, it's like a perfect representation, like what the hot seat is. Like, just like it's giving that vibe.
Yeah, man. I always call this my throne. This is my throne, king. I was speaking before to your producer, and I'm of Ghana descent, so my throne, Ashanti king, right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, royalties in the building, ladies and
Uh,
gentlemen. Respect them as such.
I'm a prince right there. You know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely. So yeah, man, just get it into the questions for the hot seat. About 4 questions, and I just want you to answer them to your best abilities. Okay.
Lay it on me, bro.
All right, perfect. So outside the work that you do, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
Know what? I am a person who likes to try. I'm a little bit of a adrenaline junkie. So I've been skydiving, I've been rock climbing, I've been zip lining. I like doing things, going on roller coasters. So I'm a little bit of a adrenaline junkie. So a little confession.
I mean, hey, shout out to you. Skydiving, you are not seeing me. I
Yeah.
like to stay on the ground. That's my motto. You know, if I'm on the ground, then everything is sound. You know.
Nah, you're coming next time. You're coming next time. We're gonna overcome a fear. Maybe I'll bring you, make a show, and get Sean to overcome his fear. You know what I mean?
I don't know exactly who he's addressing, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea who he's talking about. I really don't. But no, I mean, like, that's amazing too. Especially, would you say that adrenaline kind of comes from just how your life has been with your condition? Do you feel like it's just something that you've kind of gravitated to, or even like, despite on like your condition or not, it's just like you've always wanted to just be more ambitious and explore or try new things.
Yeah, and I feel like it's two parts kind of to that answer, right? Or that question, right? So
Mhm.
definitely, I feel that you do have a little bit more sense of adrenaline because even though I still have some usable vision, there's still times where I go into a place, no pun intended, I go into a place blind, right? And not knowing what's going to happen, right?
Mhm.
So sometimes you're even just walking, you don't know what tree branch is going to hit you, or you don't know if anybody's going to pop out, or so you're constantly on that adrenaline, you know what I mean? Not that
Yeah.
like all the time I'm all pumped up, right? So I feel like with that you become less scared of certain things. Like something, for example, people don't like public speaking. Let me ask you, Sean, do you like public speaking?
It's funny enough. I was just at my old high school today and like I was doing public speaking. I spoke to like for 10 minutes to a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah.
Personally, I would rather speak in front of like 10,000 people here on Love Bay Radio than speak to like 20 high school kids because they will roast you. They'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah, who's Unk over here, bro? Like, get out of
Exactly.
here.
And then you're trying to be cool and you're like 6'7", 6'7", and they're like, okay, this guy's reaching hard, you know? And the funny thing, and I asked you that question because even with the fear of presentation, I don't fear presentations because I guess the fact that I have that limited vision of seeing people's facial expressions. So I see only the outline of people. So yes to your question, the fact that yes, because I have form of vision loss, that I feel that you are doing things a little, not to say risky, but you're taking the good risks, right? And
Mhm.
then on the other side of that, because I was born with an eye condition of low vision, and then even just being a black man, right, with sometimes the standards, low standards that people have for you, the fact that I do feel that I want to push myself, right? And I do feel that I want to prove people wrong because I'm tired of people making the assumption that, oh, you can't be educated. Oh, you can't be athletic. Oh, you can't do this. You gotta just stay home. You gotta just blah blah yada yada. And that's yada yada and garbage in my ear. And that comes out to be productive. You know what I mean?
100%. And I mean, I love that mindset for you as well. Like, a lot of people, depending on their conditions, like they'll be targeted by certain people in society. That's kind of just been like the social norms or the behaviors that you pick up. It's like, well, I mean, you can't really do this because of just like A, B, and C. But it's like, why not?
Yeah.
Like genuinely, like you have to give them like the most stern, like, why not? Like
Yeah.
I'm so confused. So I mean, I hear you.
Yeah, and even to add on to that, the thing I believe is why is someone telling me that I can't do something or making assumptions for me when they don't live that life and they don't have the full information, right? They're going on how they see life, right? So I try and ignore that noise and not let that get to me because I know that I know my true story, and I know we're going to go into it a little more in the podcast, but I know my true story and I know all the hills and mountains that I have overcome, so I don't need someone to dictate my story for me, you know what I mean?
100%. I love that, man. I want to go on to the next question. This is something I asked before to a previous guest, and I want to ask it again. What is one work habit you enjoy and one work habit that you hate?
Dog, yo, this hot seat's getting really, really hot. You know what I mean? It's warming up. Yo, my backside's warming up, eh?
I promise you, it's so chill. It really is.
No, I'm just playing. You're asking something that I enjoy doing when it comes to like business wise, something I don't enjoy doing.
Yeah, like a work habit that you actually like, you enjoy a lot, and like one work habit that you're just not a fan of.
Okay, so I like starting with the negative first and then ending it out with a positive. That's a little bit of my social work background. So I'd say a negative is the admin stuff. I like
Mhm.
it's not that I hate doing the admin stuff, but I feel like I hate doing the little things, right? Because I
Mhm.
know that it can be done, but it's just like sitting there and it's so mundane, and you're just kind of like, I'm putting, I don't know, my numbers into this, and it just doesn't feel, it's just the little things that you will not remember. They're not memorable, right?
Right.
And then the things I love doing, I love networking. I am a total social butterfly. I love meeting new people. I love making connections and collaborations. And that's the thing I really love about when you create a new business, that you're able to network with other people and you're able to, anybody who has their goals, you're able to help them with their goals, and then vice versa, right? You're able to help the community, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for a lot of us, again, we may not be like networking type of people, but I think overall, like, it's a skill, or like it's kind of like a practice, many of us, if we're trying to become like business owners, that we have to embrace. Sometimes you have to be able to go network and connect with people and be able to, talk about your work, because if you can't do that, then no one's going to know who you are at the end of the day.
Absolutely, dog. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, because it's like, I hear you, Ben, but I think your camera might be delayed. It's just that
Mhm.
I'm hearing your responses, but it's picking up the delays a little bit. I don't know if something happened. I don't know if it was a glitch, but hopefully, hopefully that doesn't continue for the rest of the show. I just wanted to just be
Mhm.
transparent and open. So
And has it been like that for the entire
no,
thing?
like it just happened like maybe like 30 seconds ago. Like I'm not sure what happened. Like you were fine, and then it just kind of
Okay,
it
how's
tweaked.
it? Yeah, it's still tweaking, eh?
It's slightly better, but I mean, yeah, like I don't think there's anything on your end that's wrong. I'm not sure. Just kind of like, listen, it's radio. So sometimes there's things that it happens.
Like, know what? Hey, I overcame the trials and tribulations of my life. I will overcome a glitching camera. Don't worry, we'll make
Yeah,
this happen, bro.
I think you're actually good now. We're
Uh,
good, and I see. Hey, Kalina's here, saying hello in the chat. How's it going?
hey, Kalina, my community family.
Shout out to her. We had her on the
So,
pod last year. I think it might have been last year around this time. I have to go back and check. I've done so many conversations that I like. Once I finish one, it's like okay, on to the next one. I gotta do a little bit of reminder and refreshing.
how could you forget Kalina? Kalina is amazing. Kalina is amazing, straight up.
I love the love, man. That's great to see.
Unforgettable.
100%. Okay, my next question here for the hot seat segment. I want you to tell me an interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
Ooh. Ooh, wee, okay. You know what? It's okay. This is something I haven't done yet because I'm trying to rack my brain about interesting fact because I'm an open book. But something I want to do is I want to become an ordained minister. And don't ask me why I want to do it. It's just the fact that I want people to just be like, ask those questions, that question that you just asked. And I could say, I am an ordained minister and I'm able to marry people. It's just random. And it's not part of my business. It's not anything like any premise of like what I'm trying to gain, but I just want to say, you know what? I'm an ordained minister. I don't even know why.
I love that. Just like your response, like, "Yo, don't ask me why I want to be an ordained minister." Just like shush, okay, like that. That's my interesting fact. It's kind of like, okay, I just keep this on me for like a rainy day. So when anyone asks, it's like, "Oh, I got you." Yeah, I'm an ordained minister. Just like, bro, where the heck did that come from? Like, what? Like you this and you're now you can help. Like you can marry people now. It's like, listen, we don't ask questions. We just get results. Okay, so don't worry.
Yeah, and even Sean, even if I do not marry anybody, and I don't use it, just the fact that I have it and I could just say I'm an ordained minister, I honestly that's what's up. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, like I'm not telling you when, but if I need someone in the future, I'll link you. I'm holding you accountable.
Mhm,
If you do get that license and you get everything set up, like I'm gonna reach out to you.
mhm. I'll be there for you, dog.
100%. I love that. Okay, the final question here for this hot seat segment: what is your personal safe room? So, what is a safe space that it could be physical, it could be mental, that
Mm.
allows you to be your authentic self?
So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna say three things, and that's a perfect question because I was actually just mentioning this to a friend the other day. Three of my safe spaces is the gym. Um, I make music, so I record music. I used to record hip hop music. Now I'm trying to get into the singing realm and write for other people, but like a studio, a music
Hmm.
studio. And then last but not least is I'm doing acting, whether it is in like TV shows, I've been background in movies, and then also like different PSAs.
Hmm.
And just on the set, those are my three like safe spaces that I feel that I bring my entire self to those spaces when I occupy them.
Okay, I like that because honestly, like I've heard so many different answers, but for you to kind of break it down in that manner, where like you have the gym, obviously, whether it's like for motivation or getting you going, because obviously the people use the gym for so many different reasons. Maybe because like they're trying to chase a certain fitness goal, or maybe it allows them to start the day strong or even end off the day on a good note. And then you mentioned doing the music and the singing. I'm not gonna ask you to sing anything. Don't worry. I don't like to put that much people in the hot seat in that manner. But
Yeah.
I think that's super dope, and the acting as well. Honestly, I would love, like, just off my bucket list, I would love to be like an extra on a show or a movie. Like,
Oh.
I feel like that needs to happen in my life, just to be like, hey, I just show my kids like, hey, your pops was in this movie, just for like, yes,
Uh-huh.
5 seconds, but I mean like, hey, he was in the movie.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Know what? The fact that you put that in the universe, like you guys said, with the Brightside scope, it's all about people accomplishing where they gotta be. So, yo, my man, you're putting in the universe. Hey, I could hook you up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let me know. Hey, even the music aspect. Listen, I guess this is maybe an interesting fact if many people don't know. I did record like a theme song for the show that anytime
Mhm.
like I would post it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or whatever, that would
E-
be the instrumental for it. So again, I had someone create the instrumental for me, but I was so motivated. I'm like, nah, let me sing and rap on it. So I don't know if it's on Apple Music, but there might be a song called First Lady by me. So if anyone actually wants to take a
e-
listen to that, you could do that. Again, it's very rough. Obviously, I knew I can do better because I basically took the beat from like another like loop category or loop library, so it's not the most clean. I understand, but that's, I guess, an interesting fact about me. Like I have a song on Apple Music and Spotify, if you may say.
Word. Word. Okay, don't get people. This is a PSA. I want you to go visit that song.
Yeah.
Play it 100 times. Everybody who's listening to this, play it 100 times. Sean, you hyped me at the beginning of the show. I'm hyping you. Play it at the beginning. Yeah, like every second. You know what I mean?
Honestly, like we might have to. I'm about to talk to Love Bay and see if we can get that set up. Like every time we come on, I don't know. I don't know what the parameters are on that, but I mean, yeah, I guess if anyone wants to go take a listen again, it's First Lady by Shaw Williams, and if you understand the play on Mr. President, First Lady,
Eh,
I don't have to break it down as much, but yeah, you guys get the gist. Anyway, that's all I have for the hot seat segment. So now we're gonna get into the main questions. But before we do, again, for people who are just coming in right now, you're listening to the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. I'm here with my man Ben, the founder of Brightside Scope. We're gonna be having a great conversation about his business. We're gonna talk a little bit about his personal journey as well, how he's inspired so many different people. So you definitely don't want to miss this. Everyone grab your notepads and your pens because class is in session where we're about to give you the ropes. We're about to teach you everything. So I feel like now let's just get into the main questions. Ben, listen, I think everyone wants to know just like what is the story that you notably share with people that don't know who you are, and how does your story make you special? Because again, I feel like you can explain a lot about yourself in so many different limelights, but I guess from the amount of people you connected with and maybe the amount of conversations you've had, what is a story about yourself that you probably haven't shared as much to many people, a certain version of it, or maybe the like just coming back to a memory or something that you really don't speak about as often? Like, what is that story that you probably don't share about a lot with certain people? And what about that story makes you the special person that you are today?
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to be in this safe room, in this safe place. And I share this off of people being motivated and people being inspired. And one of my things is I do not want any pity. I am not a victim, so I don't share this to be a victim and be like, oh, poor guy, he's been through so much, because that's not my forte, right? So basically, and something that and I think of that it's just so big to me is I was actually born premature. And I'm not too sure it's linked to my eye condition. Like I gained the eye condition from being born premature. So I think to myself, where I have such a positive outlook on life, when people think, oh, you're losing your vision, like you're not supposed to be this positive. You're supposed to, like, aren't you mad at life? Aren't you mad at people? Aren't you jealous, right? But I
Mhm.
think of being born premature, like I should have never been here, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even just having life is such a blessing, and life is such a cherished gift to me, right? And having an eye condition where you were born with it and you were born pretty much sighted. So you couldn't tell that I was an individual who had low vision or partial blindness, right?
Mhm.
Because this eye condition doesn't show until you get older. And just knowing, and as a kid, you're not understanding that you're going to go blind, right? So
Mhm.
just knowing that you could progressively go blind and not see anything. And even doctors telling you, like my parents, that your son is going to be blind when he's becomes a teenager, right? It's a chance he's fully blind. All honesty, I don't want to be like, oh man, like life is good, like who cares about that? I want to revisit that part of my life, because that was a hard part of your life as a kid, for my parents, for my family as well. And even as a teenager, to see my friends go play football, and I wanted to be on the football team, but they wouldn't let me because I didn't have enough vision. Or in grade 8, to want to join the basketball team, and I loved ball. I watched ball. I play outside of school, and them being like, you can't play because you're a liability, right? And just to kind of watch people, like my friends, date and not have that insecurity of being a person who has like low vision, right? That
Mhm.
was tough, even your early 20s, going through school and everything, it was tough. And then as being a black man as well, not being able to be vulnerable, always having to hold it in, where it's like, yo, this doesn't bother me. And also being Ghanaian as well, right? Where in culture, sometimes we're not allowed to really say what's wrong, right? And then sometimes even feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm an embarrassment to my parents, I'm an embarrassment to my family. So I gotta admit, and I gotta say this point blank, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Life was hard. It was hard. I was in places that I do not wish on other people. I found ways to, not good ways to feel happy.
Mhm.
And even with that said, revisiting that whole thing where, like, just point blank, like I said, to have that pressure and to have that way of, you're going to go blind, you know what I mean? All the things you see now, you won't see it, you know what I mean? And that, oh my gosh, that is like hard for a young person. And I remember when I was 15 years old, and I always look back at this, where I was 15 years old and I was in drama class, and I just had this, like, someone was performing something, I wasn't paying attention, right? But
Mhm.
it was this whole thing where I was just like, I have no future. And I was telling myself, I have no future. Like, I will probably live with my parents the rest of my life. I will not have an education. I will not be desirable to any woman or anything. I will probably not have kids. I will just be at home. I have no future at all. And that ran through my mind. So even to visit that, it was very, very difficult growing up. And like, I was kind of just in this fog where it's just like, I had no role models, anybody who looked like me, who lived with low vision. Like, you had Stevie Wonder on TV, but that's someone on TV that you don't know. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So all that pressure, and even thank you for giving me the space to, because I have never really expressed that pressure. It's always kind of been like, oh, life's good, you know? So thank you for giving me that opportunity to kind of revisit that, right?
Yeah, of course. And I mean, even to just piggyback off of what you've shared, when you look at things like, past generations as well, they definitely play a role. You mentioned for someone like being a black male, having a condition, it puts a lot of like barriers or things upon one person, and because the previous generation won't really be able to be open and transparent to those things, it becomes a little bit of an issue. Like, so even just looking at the most surface level, you mentioned like black men, like, we can't be open. Like, there's this toxic mask that we have to put on when it comes to toxic masculinity. Like, we have to look tough, or even it doesn't have to be in a matter of like you have to be tough when it comes to like, oh, like you gotta be gritty, but more of just like whatever you're holding on to, you just have to find a way to push it as far down as possible.
Mhm.
Because even though if you're trying to be open, there was a certain point where, and again, this is not to really go after previous like generations or like family holes or anything like that, but the amount of access and accessibility we have nowadays to be open, it wasn't as present back then. And
Yeah.
because it wasn't as present back then, it was much difficult for someone like yourself, perhaps, to just be more open. Or again, like you had friends, it's like, you're a liability. Like the fact you said that, like what you said to me, like the liability, that's a strong word, like
Mhm.
liability. Like
Mhm.
imagine like the verbiage being used in that time being, but not actually want to open up and just like, okay, hold on, but like, what's he thinking? We're just assuming that, like, oh, he knows this, so like, you shouldn't be trying to
Mhm.
ask. But again, it's these little notions that we tend to open up and realize that. So again, I really appreciate you being transparent, because again, we try to create a space not to only talk about just the business side of things, even though we speak with so many business owners, it's also talking about the personal side of things, because sometimes when we build something and we build a foundation, it stems from our personal pain points. Like, that's the classic thing where it's like, if you're trying to create a legacy, it comes from you. Like, sure, you could be motivated by someone else, but it starts with you. And when you are able to acknowledge those pain points, but still see the best out of it and build something as strong and foundational, like what you've done for yourself, like the character and the person you are today. I mean, I commend that a lot.
And even with that said, and I'm going to revisit another part of being a black man and having to hang on and actually suppress your feelings is the fact that if something's bothering you, what we were in a society, like I grew up in the 90s, right? Like 2000s and all that. It was a point where like you couldn't just go to your buddies and be like, this is bothering me, like because they didn't know how to react either, right? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They are probably going through the same holding it in and suppressing it as well, right? So yes, absolutely what you're saying is so true to be in this space nowadays where us as black men we're able to be more multidimensional, right? Because I feel like it was one time where we were just a monolith, you know what I mean? Like we were just like, this is what a black man's all about. And it just you can extend to different characteristics, right? So I'm so happy that we're moving into this direction as well, you know?
100%. I definitely think it's important to create more spaces like this to talk about and, open up, be real with ourselves, and allow the chance to be vulnerable. Because, again, we may not have those opportunities all the time. So we try to do that on the show where people have the chance to be open. Like, I could
Mhm.
always talk about the good, but at the same time, there should be a duality. Sometimes you have to talk about the good, but when get into that good, there was some bad along the way. And I don't see anything of what you've gone through was bad, but I think it's real. That's why I said it's
Mhm.
not bad, it's real. And I think a lot of people may get that misinterpreted because it's like, oh, but you have low vision. I mean, like you can say that with anyone who has any critical condition today. It's like, oh, like you have low hearing, or like you can't have no smell, or like maybe you got no arm or no leg. At the end of the day, like again, we had Kalina on the show. I'm pretty sure many people probably thought the same thing to her. It's like, oh well, like you lost your hearing or like the case may be or whatever. It's like, yeah, but look at what she's done. You think anything set her back? I mean, she's absolutely killing it right now in what she's doing, and you're doing the
Mhm.
exact same, man. So I mean, it's finding that duality of talking about the things that we were able to grow upon, and again the lessons that we learned, having that duality in place and being able to embrace it.
Exactly, exactly. And I know you have another question, but I just want to kind of go launch off of what you're making mention, where this is what the business of the Brightside Scope's all about, right? It is
Hmm.
about visiting the past, and with the Brightside Scope, my logo is actually it's a brick wall, and then it has like sunburst and graffiti and like brightness to on that brick wall, and that's the reason for it, right? You're taking that grittiness, you're taking that muddy like filthiness that you've been through, and then you're finally finding your bright side, you know what I mean? And even just like I said at the beginning, I like telling sort of the and I just like you said, I don't want to say bad, the real first, and then next I like telling like what you came out of it. So I want to say even what I just said in the beginning, thank God that all happened to me. Thank God that I've been through that, right?
Hmm.
Because right now in life, it made me cherish what life is really about, right? It made me find who I am as a person. So even I'm going to name off all these accomplishments I have done as a person who is blind low vision. Like I remember I was telling the story of, oh, I was 15 and I was like, I'm going nowhere, right? I'm
Mhm.
not gonna have my own place. I'm gonna live with my parents. I'm not gonna have a girl. I'm not gonna blah blah blah. So let me say that I got my education, even though I struggled in school, in elementary school and high school. So I have my social service working, I have my bachelor's of social work, and I have my master's of social work. Boom. I am athletic. I have ran a 5K, 10K, 21K, full marathon. Boom. I'm a homeowner. I have owned two places. I am a musician. I am a public speaker. I am a motivator. I do stand up comedy. I make music. I am on TV shows. I am on movies doing background. I also write reports. I also write stories for young people. I do presentations for young people. I did podcasting at one point. You know what I mean? I even do stuff like rock climbing. Like I said, I also do things like skydiving. So all that what I have today, that was built from not having anything and being told that you would not have anything, because just hearing that I would be blind or whatever, or I wouldn't have this, makes me really cherish what I have today and the amazing people I have met. So I'm I gotta say, I'm on this like big high right now because I just reminded myself of all that stuff, and I want to help people get to that place as well, right? I know we're going through a lot, but I feel like when you stop victimizing yourself, when you stop feeling sorry for yourself, when you look at your situation, you're like, I'm going to make this lemon into a whole feast. That's when life change and people start to gravitate to you. So like the next, I think my next problem is what am I going to do next? You know what I mean? Like what is next,
It's
you
like,
know?
what hasn't he done?
Holy.
I feel. Hey, listen, honestly, like with all those accomplishments, I think you might have to repeat it for everyone in the back that didn't hear you. Like, honestly, like I felt like you were going on and on. I was like, I love it. I absolutely love it. Just like, hey, talk your talk. Like, we need to big up each other. Like every single time, like just let us know that what we're doing the damn thing. And that gets into my next question because with your platform and the incredible journey you've done so far, I do want to talk about the importance of intersectionality towards race, culture, and ethnicity within
Yes,
various spaces, because that's definitely a touching point that you talk about when it comes to public speaking, or if you're doing a workshop or the places you try to occupy and really have those conversations. Why would you say it's very crucial for you to have these conversations? Because again, the only time I hear stuff like this, in all honesty, is in school boards. And usually when I hear it in school boards, it kind of comes off as one of those like, okay, we have to talk about it because if we don't, then people are going to complain. And then we don't want to be having complaints coming in. But it's like, but are we actually trying to like have the conversation, learn from the conversation, and spread the conversation? So like for you specifically, why do you think it's important that you are the one at the helm front trying to talk more about intersectionality towards race, culture, and ethnicity within certain spaces?
absolutely. Because I truly believe with our identities, there should never be a moment where we have to let go of any part of our identity. So when I walk into a place, let's just say, I don't know, I go to a cultural event, right? And they don't have anything for accessibility. I walk in and they don't have assistance, and it's sort of like you don't belong here. I do not. I feel that that shouldn't be the case. If I want to enjoy something cultural that means a lot to me, I should be enjoying it even as a person who lives with a disability, and even vice versa. If I go in a space that celebrates disability, I should not, and I'm going to emphasize it, I should not let go of my cultural, my race, or my religion just to enjoy something that comes from a space of accessibility, right? And that's what I want to show people with the Brightside scope. And I want to encourage people to bring their whole selves into what they do, right? Because
Mhm.
it's so important. I'm a person, I love hip hop music, right? I love Afrobeat music. I love enjoying cultural events like going to Caravana or going to Afrofest. And with that said, just because I live with low vision, that shouldn't be stopping me from getting to enjoy things that I love to do, right? So I think it's so important that, just like you said, we have to make this relatable and personable, right? Where maybe it's in the school boards, but it's just like, you have to do this, you have to do this. But I feel like people are very, no pun intended, very visual when it comes to change, right? So
Mhm.
people, that's why people love TikTok and social media so much, because it's right there in front of your face and they're seeing someone do something, right? So that's why I feel like it's so important that we show intersectionality. We show, like, even in the summer, I went to Caravana, I played mass, and I had my cane with me. You know what I mean? And that put together both my love. Although I'm not Caribbean, I still enjoy Caravana, and I still am representing me as a person with low vision, right? And like I said, none of that should be taken away. And I want people, like, whether it's religion, whether it's race, whether it's like where you come from, nationality, you should still show every part of you and really be proud of who you are at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, like I brought the example of the school boards because again, I feel like again you hear a lot of those conversations in those specific settings and for someone that was like in the TDSB at one point obviously with school, I would always be like dragged out of class to like be part of these conversations and like I think to myself like, man, like I'm glad we're having these conversations but at the same time like where are these feedback and voices landing back to? Is it going on deaf ears? Because I've been part of so many different things where you will try to advocate for something. Someone kind of steps in as like a liaison and like, oh, they take information only to put it on a file, let it collect dust for
Mhm.
5 years, and the cycle repeats. And it's like, oh, like let's do it again. And then people wonder like, why is there no change? Because like
Mhm.
are people actually being in motion to make those decisions? And I'm glad like for yourself that again you're trying to be at the forefront for that. And I feel like honestly too, for a lot of us black business owners, I get it. We're trying to fight our own battles when it comes to like being able to scale operations or even funding. I know when it came to the recent news about getting the $189 million funding from the government, that sparked a huge like conversations because again, like we need the funding, and I think for a lot of folks too who are seeing this, they're trying to get their hands on it, and they're also encouraging other black business owners to use that money because if they're not, then the government's going to have more reason not to like
Funding.
fund
Mhm.
those businesses. But to that point, I think we should also bring conversations like intersectionality towards race, culture, and ethnicity because that's still a very real thing that we need to still bring out in terms of like having those spaces, conversating. Like I would love to see, spaces like the Black Entrepreneurship Alliance do something along the likes of that. I feel like I could see you facilitating a conversation or bringing some aspect to it that it makes sense for Black business owners to comprehend and hopefully apply it into their day-to-day framework.
Exactly, exactly. And even with myself doing this work, we also have organizations like ASHE, the Foundation for Black Canadians with Disabilities, and they're doing incredible work. I just want to shout out Liz for sure and all the crew at ASHE and the incredible work that they're doing. And then we have a national Black Disability Coalition, where we're actually Black people living with disabilities, and then we have different groups that are actually talking about the real issues of Black people with disabilities that haven't been heard, right? So I
Hmm.
think it's so important that we have these organizations that are are coming through the pipeline. Individuals like me, I gotta shout out Kalina as well, and just like so many individuals who are really spitting the truth, right? And really opening up to individuals who, like I said, us black folk sometimes looked at as a monolith, right? But like, what about someone who's black and very artsy? What about someone who is black and grew up in a different country? And it's like we have to start getting these voices, these intersecting voices, and be like, I don't fit this mold as this typical black person that you think I am. Can I add my other intersex? And how am I being supported as well?
100%. I love that. I think, we need to start championing stuff like this a little bit more and really bring that to just every aspect of what we do or as many spaces as possible. I'm glad we're having conversations like this on the podcast because for anyone listening out there, whether you're someone who's maybe going through a condition or a disability, I hope you're learning something from Ben from his journey. Obviously, everyone's journey is completely different, but there's always things that you can take away for yourself and hopefully apply in the future. But
Mm,
I want to go on to the next question quickly. Then we're going to switch things up a bit. I want
yes.
you to recall a moment where your contributions to the work that you've done change someone's life, like just based on even what has to do with the bright side scope, or just through public speaking, whatever the case may be. Like, what can you remember of just what you've done so far in your professional career that have actually changed someone's life for the better?
Too many. So I used to work at a blind school and in a smaller town, and they did not have really that much multiculturalism, right? So I remember when Black History came around, I was like, nah, we gotta definitely celebrate Black History. We gotta make this a party. You know what I mean? We gotta
Hmm.
like educate, show the amazing food, you know what I mean? Show like a culture, you know what I'm saying? So I remember I did a speech, and this speech, like this was so heartfelt, right? Like the opportunity to be a driving force in bringing something that wasn't there. And I remember a student after coming to me and he's just like, thank you. Thank you.
Hmm.
Like, thank you for doing this. And like I learned a lot and I feel included, right? I feel like heard. I feel that a part of me is here with this celebration, right? And that forever is something I would always remember. Like sometimes when you're like organizing, you're like, what did I get myself into? This is so much work. Oh my gosh, why am I as the only black male who works here doing this? Why am I tokenized and everything? But then once you do it, knowing that that's the impact that you get and that mentorship for someone, and that not that no words, man, no words for that, you know?
I feel you, man. Like, it's stuff like that that keeps us going in what we're doing. And I think just in general, if you're someone who's out there listening and you feel like whatever you're trying to do, it's just like, oh, I don't know, like if it's bringing an impact, and then all it takes is one person to say like, oh my gosh, like I've seen the stuff you've done, and it's been really great. And it's funny enough because I'm gonna shout out this person. I don't know if Ellie's watching, but she recently started this challenge. I believe it's called Goodbye Shyness Challenge, and we were given our bold opinions. And one of the bold opinions I had was that we actually do more than enough to support our own community, whether it is like acknowledging, what we've done, or letting people know, like, hey, like, you're doing a great job, or like, I see what you're doing, and I know you're going to be destined for greatness. Most of the time we tell ourselves, like, I feel like I'm so far away. I'm not actually there. But I'm like, no, I feel like we actually give more credit to our peers than we think. And I think we need to start again champion that. And even I said something along the likes
Mm.
of like, we need to do more random check-ins. Like just call
Mm-hmm.
someone and just see how they're doing, just be like, hey, like, just wanted to call, check in, see how you are. Hope everything's going well in your life, personally and professionally, and just I'm looking to see you win and stuff like that. It brings a smile to someone's face. Maybe you may not see it across like over the phone, but I know inside they're like, wow, like this man literally just like picked up the phone and called me and just to say, "Hey, I want to see you win." It's like who's doing that? Like genuinely, no one, anyone could have just like, okay, I'm just not gonna call this person, or you're gonna wait till like something big happens and then finally show love. It's like, why not? Like, just I might do the same thing tonight. I might just call someone randomly, like, "Hey, how's it been? It's been a minute." Just shout out to you. Just it is what it is. So I love just how for you you've been able to contribute so much to so many different people, and they've resonated with your story, and they've resonated with what you have created so far.
And I hope they do. I really hope that would just make it all worth it for sure.
100%. Okay, so I want to do a little bit of a role play exercise.
Mhm.
So let's just pretend for this conversation like I'm not Sean. I'm someone completely different. If you want, you can give me like an alias, a name, just to make it a little bit more fun.
Oh, you know what? Okay, no, what name am I thinking? No, just to pay homage to our Jays, I'm gonna call you Vladdy. There we go.
Vladdy, dude, I ain't gonna lie, that was too soon. I'm an avid Jays fan, bro. You know this. We had the conversation.
Uh,
No,
uh,
it's all good. It's all good. I mean, listen, they're gonna bounce back. I mean, we just have to figure out, are we getting Bo Bichette back? If not, then we might have to get someone like a Kyle Tucker. But we have to see. But yeah, I guess I'm Vladdy today, ladies and gentlemen. For people who don't know, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., first baseman of Toronto Blue Jays. If I think the entire city, the entire nation was united for that World Series. I mean, what a special moment. So yeah, Ben, we're just gonna pretend that I'm reaching out to you and I'm just kind of like asking more questions about Brightside Scope. It's kind of more of
absolutely,
like a regular one-on-one, just kind of treat it as it is, just sort of like a consultation call, okay?
absolutely. And I have to give you a disclaimer. I feel like my social work will come out. It'll end up being a counseling session, but okay, I can do this. I can do this.
I mean, like, I feel like that's the whole point of the role play. We wanted it to be that you're kind of like in your element on a day to day
Mm,
basis. So for people who are tuning in, they get to know exactly how you operate. So if they ever want to reach out to you, they know exactly who you are, how to approach you. So that's kind of the point of the role play.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, let's go. Let's just get it started. Hey Ben, this is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I know you're probably wondering how exactly I got your contact, but hey, I might be a busy man, but I make time for what I can. And I think one of my friends, his name is George Spring. I don't know if you ever heard of him, but
Never heard of
he
him.
was telling me about this post online. I'm like, bro, like, listen, we got to go to practice, but he showed me you speaking at a workshop and you were saying some motivational things, like, me, like I'm very religious, like Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. I say it all the time. For me, I just want to know a little bit more about like what you do, perhaps, because like I really resonate with the words that you share, and hopefully there could be parts about yourself that could not only motivate myself, but obviously I got like family and like they're kind of going through a rough patch right now. And maybe you could speak to them in a way that they can comprehend from your perspective. Just again, share a little bit more about yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for calling, Vladdy. Tell your dad I say hi, by the way. And I gotta say, with the Brightside Scope, it's a very amazing business, and the fact that you did see me do a presentation, and it does speak about motivation, but it also speaks about how we can make our communities better. So we all occupy spaces, whether it's professional spaces, whether it is recreational spaces, and we all want people to be included. So I find with the Brightside Scope, if you ever need presentations that speak about accessibility, it speaks about diversity and inclusion, or speaks about how we could open up to make everybody feel welcome, I am your guy. If you ever need motivation or inspiration, like you're making mention, I'm also your guy where I will share my story. And then at the same time, I will kind of apply that where other people have the opportunity to share their stories. So make it into a workshop form. And then, even last but not least, I do PSA appearances and acting appearances. So I know that we're always looking for representation, whether it comes to media or social media, and we want everybody to be seen. So if you do need someone who does hold different identities and you want someone to be seen, I am your guy to act in your role. I have that experience as well. So as I made mention, the public speaking, I do the consulting, and then also I do media appearances, and then I am a registered social worker as well. So I can provide those workshops if anybody does need anything to look at, like diversity and inclusion, or even just to chat about how they function through your organization.
All right, all right. Really like what you're selling to me. Okay, so I'll be honest. We do have a couple of players on the team that could definitely use the motivation. I don't know if you know, but the last month wasn't so precious to us, but we know we could bounce back going into the next season. We could always use that motivation. And I believe like there's a couple of people, the staff that they could definitely use some motivation. I was also reading that you have a an eye condition, and I know a couple people on the team or on the staff that's like they have their own condition, so perhaps they could really use just some motivation from your personal story. And you mentioned doing PSA work. I mean, we're kind of looking for an ambassador right now. I mean, I don't know much of it. I just kind of come and just hit bombs, but that's what I've heard through the grapevine. So, I mean, maybe you could talk to someone like a Ross Atkins or a Mark Shapiro. But I mean, again, I just wanted to just say, like, I appreciate it. And, maybe we set up something where it's you come in full time and you're kind of like our official ambassador. Like I could definitely see something like that. Like, do you have like a website that kind of shows like the different stuff you offer? Is there like a price sheet that we can look over? Because we would probably want to bring you in at some point.
Absolutely, Vladdy, and I apologize on what happened last month. But I know you folks have the J's Care program, and then you do have a lot of programs when it does come to accessibility and diversity. So I feel like it'd be a great relationship with you and me and the team, because I could definitely do programs when it does come to J's Care, right? So I could let you know about how accessibility is good. We could bring maybe some kids who live with disabilities as well. I could connect you with organizations. And then with that said, I have my website. It is www.brightsidescope.com. And then I have my Instagram, which is brightside_scope. And then also I am on LinkedIn at Ben Akwako, Akuoko. A nice Ashanti Ghana name right there. And with all that said, you could get that information. You could see what you are interested in. And then at the same time, with that said, I actually cater my presentations and workshops to what you're truly looking for, right? Because I don't want to just put this one glove fits all theory on all the presentations I do. I really want them to be personable and people incorporated and people able to have those conversations. So, know what, for you, Vladdy, you just contact me, you get your friends to contact me as well. And with that said, we could definitely sit down and look at how we could pretty much cater this presentation or workshop to what you're truly looking for and your goals.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much, Ben. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah, and know what? We'll get them next year.
Yeah, vamos for sure, vamos. Yeah, okay. So that's pretty much it for the role play. I mean, yeah, like again, you're a natural. Like I have no other critiques really.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. You know what I mean? A lot of practice, a lot of practice.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's everything like the social work, background, the acting, it all comes into play. So
Mm-hmm.
for sure. I do have one more thing, more of a closing activity. I'm
Right.
seeing some comments in the chat. I'm seeing comments from Discord. I actually don't think we've got comments from like Discord, which is a first. So how about that? That means something. Again, we got people tuning in from all over. That's what we do here at the Safe Room. We bring people together, and that's what it's all about. The safe space is not just for me and my guests; it's for everyone that's tapping in. So much love to everyone coming in. But Ben, I do have this one fun little activity just to wrap things up. It's called Odd Man Out. So how it works. There's 3 different rounds, okay? And I'm gonna be naming 4 different celebrities. So you have
Yes.
to figure
Uh,
out
I'm
out
ready.
of the 4 which one is basically the odd man out. It's very simple. Now, if you're able to name the person, you get a point. For
Yes.
bonus points, if you could tell me like what's the category of like what the round is. Like, okay, like this person is the odd man out because the rest of them are so and so. Does that make sense?
That's perfect. Lay it on me. I'm ready for this, man. I'm gonna get 4 out. I love games, man. I love games. So
Okay, I like it. I like it. I love the confidence. Usually, everyone when I tell them this, like they get scared.
yeah, bring it on. Let's hear this.
Okay, so I got 3 different rounds. Nothing too crazy. So we're gonna start with a light one. Okay, so round one. So here are the 4 names. We got Drake, The
Uh-huh.
Weeknd,
Yeah.
Justin Bieber, and Taylor Swift.
Yo, this is too dog. I are you trying to my Africans coming out? Are you trying to disrespect me?
Hey, 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 hey,
uh,
hey. I'm not.
too
I promise you.
easy. Okay. Taylor Swift because she's not Canadian.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I had to throw a lob. I had to throw a lob. Honestly, like the evil in me would have put a different reason for why of like one of the 4, but I'm like, nah, let me not do that. Let me not do that. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. All right. So 1 for 1. That's round 1. Okay. Round 2 gets a little bit more difficult, but I want to see if you're able to pinpoint this.
Yeah.
So the 4 names we got: Kim Kardashian,
Okay.
Tom Brady,
Okay.
Nick Cannon, and
Okay.
Shannon Tatum.
Ooh, okay. You know what? Kim Kardashian. The others are all males. There we go. I took the easy
Yeah.
way. I took
All right.
the easy
Yeah,
way.
absolutely. That's absolutely false. You thought. No.
What? Oh, Shannon. Oh, I thought Shannon, whatever, was a guy.
I mean that's not what I'm going. I see, you see guys, you see what happened?
I
Ben
was, try-
got cocky. He thought, "Oh, I threw him a lob for the first." No, that's not what I was going with.
I was trying to take the easy way. I knew I was against the wall. I was like, okay, you know what? I try. Let me try this. Like, but okay, you got me. Lay it on me. What did I get wrong? What did I get wrong,
Okay.
Professor?
Okay. So
Mr.
the
President?
answer was Tom Brady
Yeah.
because outside of Tom Brady, everyone else was born in 1980.
Come. Oh, okay. You know what? You
I
know
mean,
what?
I
I'm
mean,
gonna stay calm. I'm gonna
you
stay calm.
you
I'm
could
gonna
have
stay
thought
calm.
about it for a bit. You
Uh,
didn't have to immediately
uh,
like, okay, hold on, let me actually lock in, let
uh,
me pay attention and just see like, okay, like what could be a position. You just going straight to like, nah, I don't know.
I'm gonna do my breathing exercises. Wusa, wusa. Okay, okay.
Okay, last one.
Let's
Okay,
do this. Come on, let me.
so this one, I'm gonna be. If you get this, then like I know you're like one of one. But let's see.
Let's do this.
Um, we have Magic Johnson,
Okay,
Oprah Winfrey,
okay,
Jay Z,
okay.
and Michael Jordan.
Okay. So once again, we have Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson, we
Oprah
have
Winfrey, Jay
Oprah,
Z.
Jay-Z, and Michael Jordan.
I want to say something with the money. Okay, Magic Johnson.
I
I
will
don't
say this, you're in the right area. You are in the right area.
because I feel like Bill. Oh no, Jay Z. Jay Z. The all billionaires. He's a millionaire. Oh no, no. Oh damn, man. Oh damn. I'm gonna go with Magic Johnson again. The all
Okay,
billionaires.
so are you locking in Magic Johnson?
Oh no, oh no. Okay, so we got Magic Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, Jay Z, and Michael Jordan. Damn.
Yes.
Okay, Magic Johnson. All the others are billionaires. He's a millionaire.
Okay, so you know what? You don't get the 2 points. You get the 1 point for Magic, okay?
Okay. Okay.
But what I was looking for, the 3 out of 4, according to Forbes, and guys,
Yeah.
I fact checked it, so don't come after me. But according to Forbes, outside of Mike Magic Johnson is not in the top 10 black billionaires. He's not on
Uh,
the top 10 of that list. So again, you were in the right category. That one was a
mhm.
little bit more specific, but at least you got the right person.
I take it. No, I take it. I'm good with that. I'm good with that because I don't read Forbes. You know what I mean? I'm not there yet. When I become a billionaire, then I'll be like, okay, I'll pay more attention to Forbes. You know.
I mean, and I know it's gonna happen as well. I can definitely see. Like, listen, I told myself too, like I'm gonna be on that list. And I see Chanel finally decide to pop out of wherever and then she's telling me next. Ben, if you don't know, Chanel is my sister. She comes on every single week, and I think she likes to just troll me.
What's
Really,
up, Chanel?
she's not. It's all love, but
Much love to Chanel right there.
100%. But yeah, that's basically all I have for tonight, Ben. Thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate your time. Appreciate you sharing your story with everyone, being open, being transparent. Much love, man, and wishing you nothing but the best in your journey, bro. Just let the people know where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. So, as I made mention before, you can find me on Brightside underscore scope, and that's my Instagram. Once again, Brightside underscore scope. You can find me at www.brightside.com. I have a Facebook page, which is The Brightside. And last but not least, LinkedIn at Ben Aquako, AKUOKO. And I just want to say, dog, such a blessing being here. What you're doing is incredible. Keep doing what you're doing, and many blessings to everybody out there. And yo, just fulfill your full capacity. You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, I appreciate the love, Ben. Really appreciate the love here. Again, for everyone listening, thank you for tuning into the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. If you want to find us on Instagram, check us out at the Safe Room Official. You want to check out my personal page. I'm now starting to post again. I think because of this new challenge that Ellie has me on, I'm gonna start posting again on my personal page because I got to get back to that. So find me at the President of TO on IG. Again, if you want to check out all of our previous conversations here on Love Bay Radio, head to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio on YouTube. Go to the playlist section. You'll find the Safe Room, and you can listen to all your favorite conversations, including this one with Ben. It will be up right after this. But again, tap in into next week to your favorite show here on Love Bay Radio. We'll see you guys next time.